Dude, the draft.
Jeff was great.
Great execution.
Oh, thank you.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
The whole thing.
A+.
I had no idea. I
Yeah.
saw you come out in that bike. I saw you stand behind Goodell. I'm thinking to myself, good company, man. He's doing his thing right now. And obviously we saw you right before.
Yeah.
And then going to do the speeches you did. Can you just run down that process a little bit?
Yeah, man. So I'll just go back to the beginning. So I don't know where, people are like, where'd you come up with that idea to, mention Trump and then Bears still suck. So my agent, I was going to be out there, some endorsement opportunities, appearance opportunities.
Shout out Bud Light.
Bud Light was one of them. Shout out Bud Light. And they had asked if I wanted to come up on stage, much like last year's in Detroit, 2 years ago in Kansas City. So I looked at last year's and it was like Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, Aiden Hutchinson, Jared Goff, and I thought it was great. Like obviously you got a mixture of legends and current players, but they all went up there and they just screamed into the mic, and I was just like, I don't really just want to get up there and be like, Green Bay, make some noise. So I was like, let's make this memorable. So I don't know where it came from, but I ran it by my wife. I go, babe, she's always the voice of reason. I go, babe, what do you think about this? And she's like, yes, you need to do this. So she's the master at Photoshop. So I went online and searched for some letterhead with, his President Trump's signature on it. And so she was like, we need it bigger. We need this. We need to make it look like handwriting if you're going to hold it up. So she was behind it and she did a great job right there. But anyways, I didn't tell anybody because I knew the NFL wasn't going to approve it. I knew just in today's political climate, you mentioned one's, political affiliation, left, right, like it's just not going to go over well with the NFL. So I was nervous backstage. I was with Jordy, Amon Green, James Jones, Mason Crosby, Lil Wayne showed up back there. And meanwhile, like everyone's, I got this envelope that I'm holding, just shaking. They
didn't know.
They didn't know. There was a bunch of stuff going, probably overthinking things, but I go, listen, this is a live event. They could cut me off if I go too long, past 15, 20 seconds, so they had asked me, hey, is there anybody who wants to go up there and say some things like last year? So I kind of, Mason and Jordan, like, I'm not going to do that. I said, I'll get them going, boys. I'll get them going, so I kind of fit in, but I didn't know where I was going to fit in with Lil Wayne and whatnot. As far as when he was going to...
Just a wild wrinkle to have him out there.
Yeah, well, he just showed up. So I'm like, well, is he going to say any... I just thought like he should have at least, like Eminem did last year. Like he should have at least... He just kind of came up there. But anyway, so then, the opportunity just kind of opened itself. And I pulled this piece of paper out and it went over well. It went over well. My brother Kyle, who was on here with me last time, he 10 out of 10 execution, delivery, everything was on point. So I was happy with how it landed. The boys all behind me, they enjoyed it. They had no idea. So they were, equally as fired up. And then, anytime you can take a chance to put the Bears down, you got to take it. So it went over well. I went backstage. So I'm like, oh, now I got to face the wrath of Goodell and everybody else.
Like viral immediately.
But they were
immediately.
They were super cool backstage. I was like, I kind of half-heartedly apologized while laughing. I said, hey, I'm sorry. Like, I knew you were going to prove it, but this and that. And so Roger was like, I didn't want to laugh when I was at, because, because I didn't want him to seem like he knew what was happening, complicit, whatever you would call it. And, but they were all like, there was a few, I'm like, hey, let me, cause I had the sheet. They're like, let me get a picture of you with it. So they were super cool about it. Yeah. So it was good. It all went over. I'll probably never be invited back again, but,
you made your mark though.
Yeah. It was cool.
Iconic.
And then the phone.
When you're riding the bike out there, like how nervous are you?
Oh, dude, I was so nervous. Cause I told them like in a week before, like, are you open to riding a bike out there? And I was like, nah, I don't want to ride a bike. Like my wife put me in these Tom Ford pants, beautiful, like super tight, got these loafers on. And so, but everyone else was doing it. I'm like, I don't need a one guy to walk my bike out. So I wrote it out there. But yeah, I was nervous, not to be on stage, but just to deliver something that I was just fired up for, but that nobody knew. So I was like, I just hope it goes over as well as my wife thinks it's going to come over. And I think it did. And then the response I got from it was great too. Cause I'm like, oh, this is a dig at the Bears, right? Well, then it turned political, it's like, Trump, like, oh, I've lost all respect for Clay, this and that. I'm like, well, all right. But I was happy. I went over well.
You're not going to please them all, but that was 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't have worked with anybody else. Like the joke wouldn't have worked because I watched your guys's, your time up there in Green Bay. And when I went up there, you know, you're filming yourself and you hear me talk about, you know, Donald Trump. You're like, oh no, I can just sense. I can sense in you. You're like,
you're 100%
he's
right.
gonna bomb, or he's gonna like, now's not the time.
Yeah.
Like, oh
and
no,
when
I thought you were about to plant your flag in the MAGA world, and I thought this is a crazy time to do that.
Yeah, I could just tell you
Trump,
like,
he was right about everything.
No.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit! All right,
we're back on time.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
But
yeah,
that's why it worked, because I had you out here.
Yeah.
So I had 50% going. Don't make it political. I got 50% going. What did he say?
Yeah.
And then I take it a whole different direction.
The bear still
the bear
sucks.
still
Dude,
sucks.
and the pause too is like, I just got off the phone with Donald Trump. He has a letter. Let's see what it says. And you took the time to open it up. So everybody in the room's like holding their breath, like, fuck, what is about to happen? You got a bunch of guys, Proud Boys, like, what's he gonna fucking say? Proud Boys out there. And then for you to do that, like it was the 10 out of 10 delivery.
Well, thank you.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
Did Trump catch wind of it? I'm assuming he did.
It's funny because my mom, I talked to her. I got home that night and she called me and she, you know, oh my gosh, like we were delayed, you know, Dad pushed pause and, you know, something was happening. And so their phones started blowing up there, and like some of their Chicago friends are like, not cool, you know, things like, what happened? And so they were laughing. They were thinking it's hysterical. But my mom was like, do you think President Trump's going to see this? And I was like, no way. Like we're over there talking about tariffs and the Middle East and stuff. I go, no way. And then,
you know, he's on it.
So the next night, Friday night, it's like 10 p.m. and a Washington number texts me and it said like, hey, this is so-and-so with President Trump. Like, I think it's his like right-hand girl who does all the tweeting and whatnot. And he delivered a nice text, something along the lines of, you know, you delivered your speech with the same fiery approach that you took to the game. I was like, hell yeah. So I let it sit that night because I was like, I don't know if I'm getting pranked or whatnot. So the next day, the Packers PR was calling me saying, hey, a certain someone wants to get in touch with you. So I just replied back and I wrote something nice to him. And he's like, yeah, all right, stay in touch. So I was like, sweet. Yeah. But like, listen, we won the Super Bowl when Obama was in office. And Obama, his wife, Michelle, her brother, I believe, was like the Oregon basketball coach or women's basketball. And I met him. So he shook everybody's hands and was like, you know, nice to meet you. And then when he saw me, you know, it's the whole Key and Peele sketch.
Like, did I get that?
I want to say he dapped me up. We got to look back through the archives. But he was so cool. Like, he was so cool, just like knew about my family history, knew about my brother going to Oregon. And I was like, man, this is great. Anytime you have now here's me, you know, anytime you have the ability, the opportunity, I should say, to like meet the president, like it's awesome.
Yeah, you take it. You absolutely take it. 100%. You run with it. You get the photo. So
it was awesome. The joke landed, you know, made a contact out of it, made a friend, and we carried on.
Made a friend.
When you met Obama, was the Key and Peele sketch before?
I think you met Obama. I think it was after.
It was after.
Was it after?
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
But I just wanted to know what side.
I'm wondering if it's like in your head, the sketch is out there. Like, is he going to try and shake my hand? I'm gonna make it known that we're dapping.
No, I was reading his energy. You know, when he had the little laugh. You know, like and the hand was up. The elbows up. I was like, oh, we're in. We're in.
My boy.
Yep.
Obama, he understood, man. The whole thanks Obama thing. He leaned into that as well. When everyone was like, thanks, Obama, everything, inflation's so high. Thanks, Obama, that. And he had this bit where he like had a giant cookie and a glass of milk, and the cookie wouldn't fit in the glass of milk. He's like, thanks, Obama. Like, he had a whole bunch of stuff like that. And the dap thing.
Yeah, it is.
I got a hand shook by Obama one time. It was me, Denard Robinson, and Patrick Omame. He was doing a commencement speech at Michigan, and he dapped up Patrick Omame, black guy. Dapped up Denard Robinson, black guy. Gave me the stern white guy handshake. Yeah. So we are not on the same level.
Did you have your tats showing though?
I think I was wearing like a blue Michigan collared shirt.
Okay.
And some khaki pants. And he's like, this kid.
Yeah, khakis.
Clean cut.
Lineman.
Yeah. Old lineman walked up. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, sir. Yeah. Absolutely. So I got the handshake.